once you know what your cuff is, you're ready to go ahead and make your interfacing for your cuff. So the interfacing for your cuff is going to be the same as your cuff length. So remember, the cuff is going to end up getting what your cuff is. You're ready to go ahead and make your interfacing for your cuff. Will not get any. So the interfacing for your cuff is going to be I'm gonna the same as your cuff length. So remember, the cuff is going to end up getting a seam allowance on it. But your interfacing will not get any seam allowance on the piece. So first, I'm gonna again make a mark for what may become, there we go, the end. And then I'll measure over from there my cuff length, which is 10 and 7/8. And make a mark. There we go. And then I'm going to measure over from my cuff length width, which is 10 and an additional 7/8. And make a mark. As weird for you as it does for me. And then I'm going to measure up my cuff width plus an additional 1/2 inch. There we go. Hopefully that'll behave. Does not look as weird for you as it does for me. So the cuff height is 2 3/4 plus an additional 1/2 inch. So up the 2 3/4 plus an additional 1/2 inch. That'll behave. That gives me 3 1/4. Okay. So I'll measure up 3 1/4 and a couple. The cuff height is 2 3/4 plus an additional 1/2 inch. And then I'll connect those dots. Up the 2 3/4 plus an additional 1/2 inch. That gives me 3 1/4. So I'll measure up 3 1/4 in a couple spots. So go ahead and measure over. And then I'll connect those dots. 10 and 7/8 up here as well. And connect that. Alright, so now I have my interfacing piece. 10 and 7/8 up here as well. And connect that. Alright, so now traditionally I have most of the interfacing piece, I'll say, inexpensive and some of the most common interfacings in the clothing that most of us wear. Traditionally, most of it doesn't really have a grain line. I'll say, and inexpensive when they're making the some of the most common the grain line interfacings in the clothing that's going to be the most efficient. Is not save the most fabric, and therefore so it doesn't really have a grain line. But for us, usually we'll just go ahead and make the grain line the same direction as that's going to be the most efficient cut grain line and save the most fabric, which is the long way, the most money. So this is an interfacing piece. It will just go ahead and make the grain line the same direction as the cut grain line, which is the long way. We will have 2 cuffs, and therefore so this is an interfacing piece. It will not have any seam allowance on the interfacing when we go to cut fabric. Because it is interfacing, all of we will have 2 cuffs, and therefore pieces, we will cut the interfacing pieces. All of the ink will be in this head shape out of the interfacing, and then we'll write the usual stuff on it. I can't remember it is what interfacing number is for this. I know mine is all of the L and a 5 and pieces. The interfacing pieces, all that ink will be in my style number. And then this is the Alexander. And then we'll write the usual stuff on it. I can't remember what our style number is. I know mine is number style name. And then my piece name is number, so I'll fill that in later, my style number. And then this is the Alexander McQueen interfacing. Green shirt, dress. So that's my style name. So style number, style name. And then my piece name is size 8. Sleeve. So that's what this pattern piece is. And I'll be cutting 2 of these interfacing. And it's going to be interfacing. So sometimes they write interfacing, sometimes they write Pellon, and sometimes they write fusible. I'm going to go ahead and write fusible. 8. So that's what this pattern piece is. And I'll be cutting 2 when I get to this. And it's going to be interfacing. So sometimes they write for my first interfacing, sometimes they write Pellon, and then sometimes they write fusible. I'm going to go ahead and write fusible. And the date may change my mind when I get to the so there's the piece that will be for my first draft of my dot. That's what I'm going to write. Fusible interfacing for my cuff, and it will be a little bit and the date longer than the halfway point. Of my there's cuff. The piece that will be just my cover the fold to give it a fusible nice interfacing for my cuff fold.